Hey, hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to the show where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Today, we've got some fire safety trivia. I'm your host, Juggleberry Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, of course, Charles McNamara. Our guest today, Tom King. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, come on, Charles. You're looking marvelous. You're
I'm
marvelous.
trying. Live my best life on a Friday. We got some good fire safety trivia lined up for tonight or today. I don't even know. I've been working nonstop trying to help our students. Thank you for joining us today on some fun fire safety trivia. Today's topic is what we're going to cover, some things that you might see on the fire guard prep for the FO1 for impairments, FO2 for shelters, FO3 and FO4 for places of public assembly. We're also going to help you get through that F80 exam for shelters. Fix my hair look good because the toughest one is for the FLSD, the F89. You know me, I'm your host, Charles McNamara. Once again, you can call me Chuckleberry Charlie. Tom, tell the little people about you and your background. I'm pretty sure they want to know about you more than they want to know about me.
Well, I'll tell you, I did have an outfit like that at one time. It was just cool, and we thought that there would never be anything different. You know, we had arrived, but no more. So anyhow, my background. I worked construction. I began that way early on. The fire department was scraping the bottom of the list, and they called me, and I joined the fire department. I did a full career there. I taught at the academy when there was a big turnover after 9/11, and I went out there to teach. I was 3,000 guys or more went through when I was there. So I learned a few things about teaching, and went through my career with the fire department. And when I got out, I went to work for a company that helped manage fire safety in buildings. So I would go building to building. I had a portfolio of buildings, and I would go around and help the fire life safety directors and building managers, help them keep it up to code. I used to run fire drills and trainings and stuff like that. And then from there, I went on to teaching. Ultimately ended up Zoom classes, a lot of it, and but teaching fire life safety, teaching homeless shelter personnel, and that's pretty much about as exciting as it gets. But that's probably all you're looking for right now. So.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. You know, we do a lot of the fire guard prep courses. We do the F80, we do the FLSD, we do the S56, and we thought this would be a great way to help students with their training. Current students who are enrolled now, future students as well. So folks, get ready. We're going to pop up some cards. We're going to try and stump this chump. Get ready, Tom, to unleash your inner genius. Why, I unleashed my inner goofball. Are you ready?
No, I'm afraid, but go ahead.
And folks, if you have any questions, put them down. We will try to answer them at the end of today's episode. All right, Instructor King. Question number 1 on today's trivia. The purpose of a check valve is to do what? Is it going to be A, B, C, or D?
Okay. Well, hands down, the check valve is to hold the water in the building. So you have your fire suppression system, standpipe, sprinkler, and I know from talking to contractors, the inside of those pipes get really nasty over time. They rust like the Titanic. So they want it, once the water goes in, the city don't want it back. They don't want it back in the system. So once it's in your building, they want it to stay there, and they do that with a check valve, a backflow preventer. It keeps the water from seeping into the city water supply.
The correct answer, you are right, is A. Good job. Question number 1, you got correct. And with that, we're going to give you your first prize of the day, $50 on that question. Good job, instructor. Question 2. Here we go, Captain Clever. In the event of an activation of an alarm, the Fire and Life Safety Director must immediately report where for $25.
All right. You know, there's a lot of things that are open to question with Fire Life Safety Director, decisions you have to make, but this is an easy one. Pretty much whatever goes on in the building, your position is going to be at the Fire Command Center. All right, that's the nerve center. Doesn't matter what kind of emergency. That's where the information comes in, and this is where you dispense the information. It's going to be right there by the front entrance. When the first responders come in, you'll be standing right there with your good-looking yellow vest on, and they'll know who to speak to. So the answer is the Fire Command Center. That's where you're going to go.
All right. Answer locked in. That is correct. You need to be at the Fire Command Station as a Fire and Life Safety Director. Awesome. Another $25 racked up. Good job. 2 for 2. You quiz wizard. Question number 3. This is a tough one. Dedicated smoke control systems must be tested blank. Now, I believe at the New York City Fire Department, they will give you a reference chart, but this is one of those that you must know. It's very important to know on the job.
All right. So absolutely. So when you're taking the exam at Fire Department headquarters, they're going to give you, it's a laminated reference manual. Same one. You have the same thing in your book. It's towards the very end of the book. And you'll flip through that. So there's certain things you don't have to store up in your cranium up here. And this is where you would open up the reference manual and seek this out. So it turns out, though, it's semi-annually that this has to be tested, and where somebody will come in, an outside contractor, and they'll test the system. Reference manual.
That is correct. And why is that so important? It's part of your fire protection system. Ooh, 3 for 3. Doing pretty good. With that, we got a bonus question. Instructor King, you get this one correct, we're going to send you to an all-expense-paid trip to the fabulous Coney Island, where you're going to get unlimited hot dogs from Nathan's Famous.
Oof. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question 4. Which of the following would be an appropriate color for a combination sprinkler standpipe fire department connection? For those that don't know, you probably have walked by these hundreds of times on the outside of the buildings. Very important piece of fire protection equipment.
Right. Okay. So, well, it's easy. The answer is yellow. And so you have red and you have green. Now red would be for just exclusively for a standpipe. A standpipe, that's a pipe in the building. It stands straight up and down. It's an easy way to remember it. And this is where the fire department will hook up hoses when they get a fire on an upper floor. Green, think of it as sprinkler, like sprinklers on a lawn. Green, and just, you know, I might be wrong about this, but if you mix the two colors together, you might get yellow. I don't know, but that's how I remember. So that's where the systems are combined together, and that's just an easy way to remember it.
That is correct, and that might be a good way to remember that, right? You're mixing those colors together when we talk about Nathan's hot dogs, right? You got red, you got yellow, you got green. That's a good way to remember it. We might have to implement that in future training.
I think they have frogs' legs there too, but I don't know if we could work that into it.
All right, Instructor King. Brain box over here, folks. He's doing good. If you got any questions for us, put them in the comments. We will get to them. Wow. Non-stop. We can't stump the jump. Unbelievable. We're going to try with a harder one right now. Question number 5. Fire escapes, external stairs, are considered to be blank means of egress from a building?
Well, uh, some of these words I might stumble over pronouncing them, but it's definitely be secondary. And here's the reason: the fire escapes, if they're very awkward to climb up and down, and they're on the exterior of the building, so you might actually be exposing yourself to, fire on a lower floor. So that's a it's not your best option. And usually the general rule for these buildings is you want to have the people protected, you have an enclosed stair, and they don't have to worry about being exposed to what might be beneath them. They can descend the stairs and go right past the fire floor without being affected. So yes, you don't want to use the fire escapes. That's secondary.
Secondary, and that you make a really good point, especially in New York City. You have them on the sides of buildings, the back of buildings. When are they really checked or tested? Do you know? The secondary means of egress. Instructor King, question 5 is correct. You truly are a trivia trooper. Thank you very much. And thank you to Peter. Peter's also tuned in right now, answering those questions. He's got them correct. And Christina is also tuned in. You might win a giveaway, folks, if you're watching live. If you comment later, you'll be entered to win as well. Question 6. I don't know. You're undefeated so far. We haven't tripped you up yet. Here we go. Question number 6. At least one fire and life safety warden is required for blank. And sometimes people get this confused with the wardens and the brigade staff. So, Instructor King, we're going to go to you.
Okay, so you have, just to be clear, like in a let's say an office building, you have wardens and you have deputy wardens. So on each floor you're going to have one warden, but then there'll be deputies on it, depending on how many tenants there are. There'll be deputies, and the pay is the same no matter which one you whatever position you take. It's the same. It's 0, and we would go. As people left the building, maybe they got another job, whatever it is. As we were doing our fire drills, we'd get somebody to raise their hand to become a deputy, or so you have one. Just to be clear, on each floor you can have one warden. So that's kind of like the boss of the deputy warden, sort of. All right, and then you have deputy wardens. So they want to make sure they have extra people so you get adequate coverage.
Absolutely, and that is correct. And that's a thankless job sometimes, right? The pay, there is no pay. The pay that you get is knowing that you can kind of sneak away from work for a few minutes, participate in your fire drills and your non-fire drills as well. All right, Captain Clever, you're killing it. All right, folks, remember, points are made up and the rules don't matter. Instructor King, we got a tough one right now. This one is going to be $500. Question 7. A little more detail. In addition to the tag placed on a standpipe or sprinkler control valve, an impairment tag must be placed where? And this is important, folks. If there is any hot work going on and you have an impairment, it is so important to follow the proper procedures when you have an impairment.
Okay, so yeah, yes, and as Charles is saying, it's the idea is that it's visible. People come in and they see it. So if you're the fire life safety director today, and there's somebody coming in to cover the next shift, they'll see this tag right there, right, the fire command station. So that's the answer. Fire command station, you want to have a tag right there. The fire department will see it as soon as they come in. So this way there's no screw ups. So that's basically it.
Yeah, that fire command station, very important for a lot of different reasons, right? Fire and life safety director or the coordinator or the manager is going to be running their operation at the FCS, the fire command station, or it's also known as the fire alarm control panel. Words kind of get switched. Instructor King, $500. You are a true quiz wizard.
I could take a couple
Question.
of weeks off.
Oh, this is an easy one. I can't believe we gave you this one for $50. What is the lowest acceptable water temperature of a gravity tank?
Okay. So gravity tank. Sometimes you can see them on New York City buildings. It would be a big wooden tank you see on the roof of the building. But very often they have them inside the building. So, like, I was a fire life safety director in a 45-story building, and we had multiple gravity tanks at different parts of the building. But they tend to be unheated in unheated areas, and so the temperature has to be monitored. And so there's a gauge in there, and if the temperature drops below 40 degrees, it's going to give you an alert. So you're going to get a supervisory signal, and they're saying, hey, the water's getting too cold. You better have it. The engineers look into it. We'll have a contractor come in and take care of it.
And that is true. The correct answer is B, 40 degrees. Because if you wait till 32 when it's freezing, too late. Good job, instructor. And that happens often. Sometimes folks forget about that stuff in the wintertime. Make sure that you check on your gravity tanks. Question 9 for $100. When the FDNY arrives in response to a fire or smoke condition, they should expect all of the following to be done, except, and I love these key words at the fire department, folks. When they say except, take a moment, reread that question.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Well, people get anxiety when they see that. So yeah, you got to take a breath and take a good look at it. So the exception here is that they don't want the alarms reset. And it may seem weird. The alarm's just gonna keep ringing, but you have to wait until the fire department arrives. The chief officer will come to the fire command station, and they'll give you permission to reset. But you cannot reset up until then. But let me cover the other things and what they are. But so you get the elevators. You want to recall them. It's for the safety of the occupants. It's also because the fire department may need to use them to get to a fire on an upper floor. So then you got the fail safe. So those are like door lock releases. Sometimes my building had turnstiles. It would release the turnstiles and so on. And I forget what the other one was, but.
Very true.
How's that look?
As a fire safety director, if you're a coordinator or a fire safety manager or S56, whatever the case is, you've got to follow your protocols. A lot of things need to happen in a short amount of time. Instructor King, that is correct. Number 9 is A. All right. We can't stump the chump. This guy is good, folks. I don't know if you got a question for him. Put it in the comments. Let's see if we can get him. Question 10. And this comes up pretty frequently on the job. During a fire emergency, wardens should immediately report to blank.
Okay, so, the warden phone is the answer. And here's the thing with the floor wardens. We mentioned them before. You have one warden per floor, and then there's a bunch of deputy wardens. But if you're at the fire command station, you're gathering information, and what they tell you is going to help you a lot in making a decision. So they might report to the phone, that red phone on the floor, and they'll call you up, and then they'll explain to you, hey, yeah, we got smoke on this floor, or we don't have any smoke, or I don't see anything. And they'll give you information, and then as you're gathering information at the fire command station, you're making your decisions from there. Mm-hmm. So they are your eyes and ears on that floor.
Yeah. Sometimes people get confused between the warden, who is it, who trains them, right? Wardens are typically upstairs on the floor. They're a tenant of the building. And brigade members are part of the building staff. Typically, they will be your security team, your engineering staff, property management, cleaners, those folks as well. So very important, make sure you know who those folks are on the job site. And for those who are interested in registering for one of our classes, you can do so on our website. You can see all of the different dates and times and courses that we have to offer. And for those who are tech savvy, check out Guardian Group services on the app stores. Google, we have a bunch. Apple, we have a bunch to help you prepare for those exams. All right, question. Oh my gosh, this is a tough one. Question 11. This is a bonus package.
Vacation. Yes. All right.
You're gonna win that vacation package. In hotels and motels, fire drills must be conducted at least blank on each ship. So we're talking specifically about hotels and motels, not office buildings.
Right. Yeah, right. Very important distinction. With an office building, you're going to expect the same people showing up for work more or less every day. So they get the lay of the building. They understand where they are. A hotel, you're getting people that are coming in. It's definitely more transient. People coming and going. So for a hotel, they want it done quarterly, as opposed to an office building. All right, so office building have fire drills twice a year, right?
Yep.
And then they have an EAP drill, one EAP drill. So hotels are different.
And a good point now, right? All of these hotels are being converted for emergency shelters, so you have different population in there, different times of day, night, weekend, holidays. But your building staff typically will be the same people there. Congratulations, you won another vacation package. Since we are sending you to Coney Island already, we are going to put you up in one of the hotels there. Congratulations to your Coney Island vacation package. All you can eat hot dogs at Nathan's. Check out the Brooklyn Cyclones. Go to the aquarium. Instructor King. Wow. So far, 0 wrong. You are a wisdom whiz. With that, we're going to go to our next question. Question number 12. Here we go. Hot work. A lot of hot work questions, right? This is where fires start. Hot work operations. The responsible person must blank. So we know when hot work happens. We got a lot going on.
Yes, and hot works. That's if you're grinding metal, something like that's going to generate sparks. If you're cutting with a torch, it's going to generate sparks. Welding, same thing. So you get these things bouncing all over the place, and so it's a recipe for disaster if you're not really careful. But we're making up the rules here today, right? So can I phone a friend? Maybe can I call my buddy Michael?
Oh, you want to call Michael Ferrari, another fire safety instructor. You want to give a call? Oh, I think we're getting some harder questions now. All right, Michael Ferrari. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. Michael, I'm going to need you to tune in. I think we finally got him. I think we were able to stump the chump. Let's see. Michael Ferrari, are you there? Oh, yep, he's connecting. It looks like he's connected right now.
That's a tough question. And hot work is important. The correct answer would be C. You must contact pre-hot work checks at least once per day prior to the start of hot work. The correct answer would be C.
Ooh, C. What do you say, Instructor King? Do you believe him?
I'll go along with that. Michael says that it's got to be true.
Michael's pretty good. He teaches a lot of different things. Question 12 is definitely C. You got to do those checks before, after. Got to stay on top, especially when it comes to hot work. We're going to give you credit. You phoned the correct friend, the other instructor, Michael Ferrari. Amazing stuff. Next question, a $500 question. Here we go. The FLS, so for those that don't know, that stands for Fire Life Safety Director, must be present in an office building having an occupant load of blank or more persons or more than blank persons above and below street level. Anytime I interviewed a fire and life safety director, I made them memorize this. Part of the code, local law 5, they need to know when an FLSD must be on duty.
All right. Well, a good way to look at what your job is in general is, I mean, of course, you're trying to. Well, it's life. All right. You want to protect people, and a good way to think of as your job is you have to try to remember that I'm dealing with people. That these are my loved ones in the building. What would they want to? What would they want me to do? What would they want to hear? What kind of information would I give them? It's just a good general way of looking at it instead of just thinking about bullet points. Now here, get to this question, they're talking about life hazard. So at night, you might have a low, just maintenance people, it's just spattering of people. But if it rises above that 100 number, above or below the ground level, they want to have a full-blown fire life safety director on staff, right there, all right, because of the high life hazard. And if there's 500 people all together, no matter what floors they're on, you have to have one. So the answer is 100 above or below the street level, or 500 total in a building.
Absolutely correct. Good job. And as we said earlier, right, it's local law 5. This is not a suggestion. This is the code. This is the law. This is when you must have a fire and life safety director on duty. Little different between the S56 for construction sites, right? You have to have the S56 for construction sites. And then at shelters, you must have the F80. Good job. I also want to thank the folks who are tuned in live. You guys are doing great. Peter, getting all the questions correct. Shaquille, good to see you. I see you're getting them correct as well. Christina, great job. And even Instructor Ferrari is tuned in, helping out today. And that's what it's all about. We want to help our students pass these courses. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're serious in training, but we like to have fun on these podcasts. Once again, I'm your host, Chuckleberry Charlie. Question 14 for $250. Oh, this is a tough one. I think this one might be a reference chart question, if I'm not mistaken. Manual fire alarm systems. Manual fire alarm systems must be tested on a blank by a blank. Who is doing this testing?
Yeah, that's definitely a reference question. So again, when you're taking the exam at fire department headquarters, when you take the exam with Guardian Group, you're going to have this reference manual. It's in the back of your book. When you go to take the exam at fire department headquarters, they'll have a laminated guide, which you can flip through. So you don't have to commit this to memory, thankfully. All right. So you would look this up, and I know the answer is, it's the S97, S98.
That is correct. And you just actually made a really good point. On a job site, there are so many different certificates of fitness. If you have an impairment, person has to have an F01. If you are the FLSD, you have the F89. But if you're going to be testing those fire alarm systems, if you are the technician, you are right. You must have the S97 or S98. Not something you need to commit to memory, but you probably will if you're going this route. And we do want to see you folks succeed in your journey in fire safety. Ooh, Instructor King. I just got to remind the folks, right? Once again, if they want to sign up for a class, the best place to do that is on our website, guardiangroupservices.com. Reserve your seat. Check the dates. Check the times. Book a class. We have so many coming up. We got the FLSD course going on right now on the weekends. We have the Fire Guard Prep, which you will be doing pretty soon, and the S95 and the S12 and 13. I don't know where you find all this time to study and then jump on and do these fun podcasts. So we want to thank you, Instructor King.
My pleasure.
All right. Last question. This is going to be a good one because we're going to spare no expense. You have the chance to win the new 2024 Lamborghini. Are you ready?
I don't know where I'm going to put all these Lamborghinis I got, but go ahead.
All right, question 15. For all the marbles, here we go. During a fire or a catastrophic event, all of the following elements tend to lead to panic, except, and we do not want to panic if we're the fire safety director or the F-80 or the S-56 on the job. So,
all right. So, well, the answer is A. It's plain language. And here's the reason, is that, when the alarms go off, people are panicking somewhat, the heart rate goes up a little bit. And they're just like, just tell me what to do, So if you can keep it simple, collect your information, you gather information from your floor wardens and whatever it says on the panel, and you're formulating a decision. So your decision might be, stand by, we'll update you. But keep it, whatever it is, keep the message simple. Sometimes the acoustics even work against you in the building. So the simpler you can put it, the better.
Absolutely. And that is correct. Congratulations, Instructor King. You got all of these questions correct. Even the folks tuning in right now, they did well. I am pretty sure they're going to have a pretty good career in fire safety. Thank you once again, Peter. I see you jumping in. Christina, Shaquille, congratulations. Folks, if you have any questions for Instructor King, let us know. Type them in the comments. We are happy to answer. Let us know what types of things you'd like to see on our podcast going forward. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the cool things all the cool kids are doing these days. But Instructor King, what do you want to tell the folks? I know you have a big, busy week this week with fire safety training. But what are some things that the students should be looking to in this career? A little different than security, but it kind of aligns with it.
Right. Well, it's not going away. It's one of those things that's not going away. I would say that just going through the course of my career, I tried different things just because I wanted to. It's just my nature, I guess. But with each thing that you do, you're learning something more, and you always walk into the position feeling like an imposter. If they only knew, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's always that way. Whatever job you get into, there's always some butterflies, and then you get through that, and you move on to the next thing. And it's just that simple.
I agree so much. Peter says, great job. He likes it. Peter, hope you are doing well. Good to see you. Oksana, good to see you. Oksana was in our Fire and Life Safety Director course recently. You had her as a student, I remember. More trivia, please. Right. More trivia, please. You got him. Taking note. And Shaquille, I know Shaquille as well. Shaquille was in recently. He did very well. Shaquille, hope you went to the fire department. You're going to have to let us know. We're going to help get you a job if you're still looking for work. There's plenty of work out there. Especially if you have like the FO1, if there are impairments in New York City, you got to have the impairment coordinator on site. $25, worth the investment. Another thing I tell folks to kind of look into is the Fire and Life Safety Director Association. It's a great organization to be part of. It's a great networking event. Meet colleagues in the field. It's a good way to kind of expand your horizons. They do a great symposium at the end of the year. Shaquille, we see that you're going down there today. Good luck. Let us know how you do. Jump back in, send us a comment later. We'd love to know. Instructor King, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Always fun.
Yes, yeah. I appreciate you, the invite and the car and the hot dogs and all that. So
unlimited hot dogs at Nathan's this summer. We're going down there. Baseball season starting soon. Go check out the Brooklyn Cyclones.
Yep. Been there. It's beautiful. Yep. It's their opening day.
Folks, thank you for tuning in. Once again, I am your host, Chuckleberry Charlie. You might see more trivia in the future with this game show host. Let us know what you want to see. Make sure you register for a class. Check out the apps. Very helpful while you're waiting at the fire department to help you pass. Instructor King, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
All right, tuning out. Take care.